Dolo Damara Chibe No Bara Chibe Ke Tarva Dan Tam Chin Chembe Partu Shubara Chiba Tam Chi Jesu Chibe Ma Nam Ka Dan Nyambe Sem Chen Tam Chi Dewa Dan Den Dungara Dan Che Nyo Tu La Na Me Ba Yang Ta Bara Zobe Chang Chu Rinpo Chi To Bara Cha.
All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment. All mother sentient beings, limitless as space, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be free from suffering, and swiftly may they attain precious, unsurpassed, perfectly complete enlightenment.
Te che de ma je je wa de lunga yi maybe somebody there, some there, maybe okay, yeah. Some there. So, yeah. Yeah, you see, maybe. Okay. So, who coming? Somebody coming? Oh, no, here. Yeah, you see, okay, there, okay. Yeah, you read him, okay.
For that purpose, until I attain Buddhahood, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Until death, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue. From today until this time tomorrow, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue.
Te sanje chudan soje chunam lai chanchu var dane japsun che dake jin so jin be zanan androla penche sanje androva sho.
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings.
Ma nam ka dan nyam be sem chen tam chi dewa dan debe ju dan bara chur je dung har dan dung har ke ju dan che vara chur je dung har me be dewa dan me je vara chur je nyeren sha dan ni dan chebe tanyo la ne bara chur je.
May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Chāngcē bādāṃ chūjīṃ yābādāṃ jīsū yīrāṃ gui-shīṃ sarvā yé gāvā jīṃsī dākē jēsāpa ātāṃ jī dzōbē chāngchū chērmū.
Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offering, confession, rejoicing, requesting, and praying, I dedicate it for the complete awakening of all beings.
Dorje chanchen dele naro ta marba mela chuje gambo ba apamo chuba jaba riong ba ga ju nama namla sorwande asene jarbo sa chon lama le chancho semje de se menan andro va guna pemba zeba e bande ade shala zorwande ada jan tene chancho ma do para je ba ren chen zom je nyam nen xiu ne chancho sem jo jong wa zang chancho sem je xian dong che para je wa gun de yang da la ma zang zhe mi shu je be la long ju sa tang lam je yun tian rab zo ne dor jian chang ki wan nyor zo xiu
Great Vajradhara, Tilopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Pagmodrupa, and Lord Jigongpa. I pray to all the Kagyu Lamas. From his guru, King Sarlingpa, he received the nectar medicine of bodhicitta and brought benefit to all sentient beings. I pray to glorious Atisha. From now until I attain enlightenment, may I also practice the three precious lineages, and through this may I perfect sublime bodhicitta and bring benefit to others with my bodhicitta. In all my lives, may I never be separated from the perfect Guru. May I enjoy the glory of the Dharma, perfect the qualities of the bhumis and paths, and quickly attain the state of Vajradhara.
Gridar, tricks, PJ 3. Cho son gun du jar gun yong pa ma zhur me xia pi la da son ka nyan lu chen na jiang chu par tu jab sun che
Until awakening, I and all beings, infinite like space, take refuge at the lotus feet of the exalted Mother Tara, the essence of the triple gem and mother of all Buddhas. Until awakening, I and all beings, infinite like space, take refuge at the lotus feet of the exalted Mother Tara, the essence of the triple gem and mother of all Buddhas.
Pa me kong pang tu li tu da ke nam de nian bi cha.
I will devote myself to this practice in order to bring mother sentient beings who are afflicted by suffering in the 6 realms to the state of the exalted Mother Tara. I will devote myself to this practice in order to bring mother sentient beings who are afflicted by suffering in the 6 realms to the state of the exalted Mother Tara.
Om be ga ne da zhe da pong pi om so ba wa shu da sarva ma su ba wa shu do ha dong bi gong le hong le ren bo che no yang xian jia che we na om a hong shu ba le zhong we dor ma tang xian to pa mi ba sa pa mi Deva che parajan ji nu be nam ka dan nyam para sho.
From emptiness arises Hum, from which appears a wide open jeweled vessel. Therein are Om, Ah, and Hum, melting and transforming into a pure and unimpeded torma that generates extraordinary pristine bliss and extends into the universe.
Akaru Mukam Sarva Dharmana Adi Nube Natuda Om Abhum Pi Sova Om Akaru Mukam Sarva Dharmana Adi Nube Natuda Om Abhum Pi Sova Om Akaru Mukam Sarva Dharmana Adi Nube Natuda Om Abhum Tijin Yeba Rinche Mangla Chansa Lo Tijin Yeba Sungze Tambala Lo Tijin Yeba Gunjam Le La Chansa Lo Tijin Yeba Jigwa Tamchi Yongsu Chebe La Chansa Lo
Homage to the Tathagata, many jewels. Homage to the Tathagata, exalted form. Homage to the Tathagata, infinite body. Homage to the Tathagata, beyond all fear.
Nama sarva tata gata avalo gede om sambara sambara om Nama sarva tata gata avala Om sambara sambara om Nama sarva tata gata avalo gede Om sambara sambara om Kanshe temo juvaye jombo namtan shazatan Asembo Shajian Sabatan, Semchen Nambara Naso Je, Jongshin Gela Sonebe, Tetan de la Dormande, Saba Shachan La Potan, Jechen Jeve Mambot, Ano Bande Kunjun La, Nobe Zamba Shevatan, Jenshin Jembara Che Jan Chujush, Du ye yang da dom la sang para jo, jung boi gong la che ba bang ma ye, ge long ge ju, cham zi jiang, cong che me yang ge yang me, so we so la gun jiang len, rang ke lu la be long la, xian la no ba ma ji je, wo men qian bu chung ge kang da ji, Lu la ngon para no jurve, ni de nye para sun su la, dong chu rang rang ni su ten.
Back to page 5. Spirits that roam the night, elemental gods, flesh eaters, carnivores that devour raw meat, various sentient creatures, spirits that dwell in dead trees and other ethereal beings, to all of them I offer this torma, made of flesh, beer, radish, mashed rice, and various fruits. Take pleasure in this gift, tame your harmful thoughts, and from now on commit yourselves to our good. Practice Dharma as a lay practitioner, adorned with worldly decorations, or as a celibate with perfect vows and self-control. Spirits who refrain from harming others are the true renunciate practitioners of virtue and pure conduct. There is no one who does not fear weapons and does not value their own life. Taking your own body as an example, cause no harm to others. Om, all you spirits, weak or strong, who cause us to fall ill and injure our bodies, now that you are banished, return to your abodes.
Om Sumbane Sumbane Hum Hum Pi Om Jana Jana Hum Hum Pi Om Jana Baya Hum Hum Wa Anaya Wa Banga Men Banzara Hum Hum Pi Om Begane Da Chida Hum Pi Om Suba Va Shuda Sarva Dharma Suba Shudu Ha Dombi Ngale Hong Le Renpo Che Nu Sab Jen Ja Che Be Nang Tu Om A Hong Wo Tu Shu Va Le Chung We Dur Jin Chu Yong Shab Si Me Do Du Ku Nang Si Che Chab Shi Si Rul Mo La Su La Zi Le Cho Be Ngo Dong Ba Chi Le Ang Po Cho Ke Ju Yu Tu Sa Pa Mi Be De Va Che Par Jian Ji Pa Nam Ka Dang Nyam Par Chul.
From emptiness arises Hong, from which appears a wide-open jeweled vessel. Therein are Om, Ah, and Hong, melting and transforming into light. From this light appears Vajra drinking water, bathing water, flowers, incense, light, perfume, food, and music. Appearing as celestial substances, they are essentially void, and as objects of the six sense powers, their purpose is to generate extraordinary, undefiling bliss. These offerings become as vast as space.
Om Benza Argan Om Benza Badin Om Benza Bubi Om Benza Dubi Om Benza Aluge Om Benza Gende Om Benza Nebede Om Benza Shada. Ge ge bende den la rani pangma drma zebe to karanda ve den la nebe hunye indra nele do da won cho chong zama din wo tam ji de cho dorje korati nan de la ji dan chong sam tam ji dorje sa je dorje chawaj Tiwan Sam Nam Su Durje De Chava Di Che Chirur Tu Durje Rava Ti Chirur Ye Che Hong Kong Je Dun Bar Xin Zhu Wei Zong Win Ko Lu Wen Yang Xin Jia Che Wa Chur.
I appear at once as the exalted Mother Tara, seated on a lotus and moon with a radiant sapphire-colored hong on a moon disk at my heart. Its light shines from above, below, and all around, forming a Vajra dome with an inner canopy. The Vajra ground and its enormous matrices spread out in all directions. Vajra nets and arrows fill all the spaces in between. Outside, it is enclosed by a Vajra fence, surrounded by a single orb of blazing wisdom fire. The vibrating protection sphere expands extensively.
Om Aryara Dare Banzara Chara Chapon Ram Pang Me Guru Zivi Tuki Damye Margin Dodab Wazere Don Suman Jigen Kamsu Ju Jumden De Ma Sanji Dan Chanchu Simbi Gurwa Jen Chang.
I manifest as the exalted Mother from the tom at my heart. Emerald-colored light radiates throughout the cosmos of 1 billion worlds and invites the Transcendent Mother and her retinue of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
Sabare vare banzara samanza Om Aryara Dare Sabare vare bema karma lae sadam Om Aryara Dare Sabare vare argam padin Buve duve aluge Gende neve de shabda badin zasu. La dan la mi jo pen jen shab je ben mo la du de. Homage
and praise to the exalted Mother Tara, who liberates from all misfortune, and at whose lotus feet all devas and asuras bow their crowns in reverence.
Java Ziji Tamji La Gune Tame Chansalo Meto Dubu Man Mere Shizirun Mola Sobi Wanjuro Yiji June Pame Sonam Shisur Toma Mine Tadi Var Mege Judan Zaminga Semne nyumu manjurbe deva tamche ya paraji. Nyen turan jara jancho sen so so je la so ba. Tu son ge wa je sa ba so nam la ne da yin rang. Nam je san ba da lo ye che tra je da wa. Che chung tu mo te wa ye chu je ko lo gor tu so. Korwa chi si ma tong wa nyang em da tu ge ye. Dung ara jan su chen wan he sem chen nam la se su so. Da ke so nam je za ba tam ji xiang ju 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 ne. Ring bur me thun ro wa yen zhen bi be tu da chu.
Page 12. Exalted Mother Tara, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas abiding in the 10 directions and 3 times, I prostrate to you with complete sincerity. I offer real and imagined flowers, incense, oil lamps, fragrance, food, music, and the like. Gathering of the Exalted Mother, please accept them. I confess the 10 non-virtues, the 5 grave acts with immediate result, and every misdeed of the mind controlled by afflictions from beginningless time until now. I rejoice in the merit of all virtues accumulated in the 3 times by the hearers, solitary realizers, bodhisattvas, ordinary beings, and the like. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the greater, lesser, and common vehicles according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings. Until samsara is empty, please do not enter nirvana, but gaze with compassion upon sentient beings drowning in an ocean of pain. May all the merit I have amassed become the cause of awakening, and may I soon become a glorious guide of transient beings. Exalted Mother Tara, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas abiding in the 10 directions and 3 times, I prostrate to you with complete sincerity. I offer real and imagined flowers, incense, oil lamps, fragrance, food, music, and the like. Gathering of the Exalted Mother, please accept them. I confess the 10 non-virtues, the 5 grave acts with immediate result, and every misdeed of the mind controlled by afflictions from beginningless time until now. I rejoice in the merit of all virtues accumulated in the 3 times by the hearers, solitary realizers, bodhisattvas, ordinary beings, and the like. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the greater, lesser, and common vehicles according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings. Until samsara is empty, please do not enter nirvana, but gaze with compassion upon sentient beings drowning in an ocean of pain. May all the merit I have amassed become the cause of awakening, and may I soon become a glorious guide of transient beings.
Obso Jainam Rangla Tembar Shoro Ome Shune Danjan Dan Banzara Suba Ye Ma Go Hai Rangi Tuki Samu Wuje Sungwa Dan Zibe Dube Chu Tam Ose Domba Chimbo Dami Bara Shoro Domba Ti Ngale Pamle Jungwe Chuje Natso Dama Dongtang Denba Xintun Zekin Yitu Usu Senju Dengdu A Garbo Yonsu Chorwa Lien Dabi Jinkuru Nyakangwe Usu Dam Ubala Ngombo Damjin Senba Li Wu Chua Kamsum Semchen Tamchi Jikwa Chenbo Jitang Juzhou Li Churi Jumden de me kompang la gu, tsoron du yong su churwa le rani ji tsu ma pang ma churma, gundo rinpo chi margi lumpo dava wazir chu gundu chuwa, xere zombe dang dang dem, ucha turzu jingwe langma jabdu si vur churwa, juru longwe na tsu jen, Lang Tzu Ji Xin Gei Bi Nyam Qian Xian Sang Bu Sum Chu Za Ni Dang Bie Ji Sang Bu Jie Chu Zi Bi Cha Ni Yin Qiu Jin Dang Yong E Ba Le Yu Ba Tu Ka Ran Zi Dhamma Nyanjaya Tekara Yorwa Kula Ambo Namru Kengbyen Chobi Tazi Je Doyo Dam Meyo Jenze Bara Changwa Rintang Shentu Miba Renpo Che Natso Ujien Gujien Toshira Semo Todang Gara Abungjen Shatu Opa La Sobi Jenje Nambaran Zeba Sha Sembe Jimo Chongke Shogu Chebara Om Garbo Jimba A Marbo Toke Hong Bole Ozi Ondrobe Ranji Netan Chepara Du Boda Lane Gomba Tanja Jumden De Mala Sanji Tan Changshu Simbi Soba Du Miwa Gurwa Jian Chang.
Page 15. The light issuing from the seed syllable at my heart transforms all phenomena subsumed within perceiver and perceived into selfless, luminous, and vast emptiness. From this empty state arises the syllable palm, which transforms into a 1,000-petaled variegated lotus of exquisite beauty. In the center of its pollen bed is a white awe that transforms into a full moon mandala. At its center is a tam, which transforms into a blue utpala marked with a tam. It emits light that frees all sentient beings from the 8 and 16 kinds of fear, thereby bringing them into the state of the transcendent Mother. When the light returns, I transform into the exalted Lady, Mother Tara, like a green mountain of emeralds. My light shines into all directions, and I glow with a radiant smile. My hair is tied in a top knot at my crown, while the rest falls loosely down my back. I am a 16-year-old blossoming youth with a charming demeanor. I am adorned with 32 major and 80 minor marks of excellence. My right hand is extended in the gesture of supreme giving, while my left holds at my heart the stem of an utpala blooming at my ear. Beautiful upper and lower garments made of celestial rainbow-colored silk, a precious tiara made of various gems, a short necklace, a medium-length necklace, a long necklace, a belt, armbands, wristlets, and a sash belt are among the precious ornaments that decorate me splendidly. Sitting in a cross-legged bodhisattva pose, my forehead is marked with white om, my throat with red ah, and my heart with blue hong. The light radiating from these 3 syllables invites the Transcendent Mother and an unfathomable retinue of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas resembling herself to come from their natural abodes and from the Pure Land of Potala in particular.
Banzara Samanda Bodala Ye Nenjo Ne Dan Yen Jan Ku Li Chong Wei Da Ye Wu Jin Zhuo Wa Zhuo Zhuo Ma Ku Chi Ye Xue Zor Pang Ma Ku Chi Chong Ba Le Da Cha So Na Gar Wa Den Da Ke Chu Yong Xi Li Tu Chi Xin Ku Chi Xiu Su Zor.
Tara, born from a green tom, whose light frees sentient beings, please come here with your entourage from the Pure Land of Potala. We welcome the exalted Mother Tara and her retinue. Through your presence, we are blessed with merit and good fortune. Please accept these offerings and remain together with your retinue until the end of samsara.
Bema karma la ye dan za bu ba ho xie jian chang bie yi xie ba tang gong bie tam cei na so su ju la ju xia da wu tian ba la chu.
Thus the wisdom and samaya beings merge as one, just as water blends with water.
La riang tu ki sang wu le wu jie wang la ren a jian chang.
Once again, the light emerging from the seed syllable at my heart invites the empowerment deities of the 5 families.
Om benze gula sabare vare argan badin za so. Om benze gula sabare vare badin za so. Om benze gula sabare Vare bube barden za so wan benze gula sabat Vare dube barden za so wan benze gula sabare va Aloge barden za so wan benze gula sabat Vare gende barden za so wan benze gula sabat Vare neve de barden za so wan benze gul sabare vare shabda barden Om sarva tatangata ambe kenza du mam she surva tabi wankele Homba chancho semje du se kamwa nam ne Om sarva tatangata ambe kengata samaya ye mu she humbe chu wankor Ge kan che ma ta chu la ji zu du chi wa le rai je da po po pa mi u jian wa ke la na ra ni la tian ba re chu
Om Sarva Tathagata Abhikansa Tumam. Having supplicated in this way, the empowerment deities holding vases filled with bodhicitta nectar proclaim, Om Sarva Tathagata Abhikakata Samaya Shirye Hong, and thus confer empowerment. The vase nectar fills my body and purifies defilements. The overflow at the crown forms an ornament of Amitabha, the Lord of the family. Then the empowerment deities dissolve into me.
Om Aryara Dare Sabare Vare Argam Badin Za Sofa Om Aryara Dare Sabare Vare Badin Badin Za Sofa Om Aryara Dare Sabare Vare Bube Badin Za Sofa Om Aryara Dare Sabare Vare Dube Badin Za Sofa Om Aryara Dare Sabare Vare Aloge Barden Za Sofa Om Aryara Dare Sabare Vare Gende Barden Za Sofa Om Aryara Re Vare Neve De Barden Za Sofa Om Aryara Dare Sabare Vare Shabda Barden Za Sofa Om Jesu Ma Pa Ma Dun Ma La Chan Za Lo Chan Se Dun Ma Nyun Ma Ba Mo Jen Ne Ge Je Lo Dang Zha Ma Jie Tian Sun Gong Chu Jie Xie Jie Ke Sar Che Wa Le Ne Chung Ma Chang Se Dong Ken Da Wa Gun De Kang Wa Jia Ne Zai Bie Xie Ma Zo Ba Nam Jie Rab De Che Wei Wo Ran Bar Ma Chang Se Sen Wu Chu Ne Jie Jie Bie Me Cha Ne Nan Bar Jin Ma Jin Ba Zun Zhu Ga To Xie Wa So Ba Sam Tian Ju Yu Nian Ma Chang Se Ti Yin Ye Bie Zu Zu Ren Ta Ye Nan Bar Jar Wei Ju Ma Ma Lu Pa Ru Jin Bie To Bie Jar Wei Zi Jie Xin Tu Den Ma Chang Se Du Da Ra Hong Ye Gen Du Da Chua Da Nam Ka Kan Ma Jie Tian Dun Bu Xia Jie Nian De Mi Ban Gu Ban Hu Ma Chang Se Jia Jin Me La Zang Ba Zo Wang Chu Chu Ma Jung Bo Ro Lang Zhi Za Nam Tang No Ji So Jin Du Ne Do Ma Chang Se Zhe Jie Jia Dong Bi Ji Ba Ru Zheng Guo Ra Dun Jun Ma ye gong yong jiang xia ji nian de men baran chou gua xin dun bar ma chang zi du ren ji gua qian bu du ji ba wu nan baran ju ma ju qi xian ne zhuo nie de dian zi zha wu tam qi su ma jiang zi gong ju zong zong xia ji su mo tu ga ra nan ba ra jian bi ma lu jiu jin hu lu jian bi rang ji wu de so nan zhong ma chang zi ra du ga wa ji bi wu jian wu jian chen ma bi ma qi ba ra yi du da ra ye du dang ji dian wang dun zi ma ye zhong me cuo nan tam qi gu ba ni ma ni ma chuo ni yu wei yi ge hong chen pong wa tam qi nan ba zhun ma chang zen da ba zun wu jian jian ba tam qi xin tun ba ma re pe zhun ne wo ba me le da hua la xin du wo ran zen ma chang zi gar wan ta me me da bar wen chin we wu ne ne ye xiang yong ku ma gu ne gu ge zha ye bong ne nan ba ran ju ma chang zi sa ye ngu la xia ti ji nu jin xia ji dong ma zhuo nie de jian zi ye ge hong ren ba dun bo nan ne ge ma chang zi dian ma ge ma xian niang gen de xian yu yu nie ma so fa wang tang yang da dian de hua qian bo nu ma ni ma chang zi gun ne go ra ga zha ye lu ne rab dun ge ma ye ge ju bi nga ne go bi zhe hua hong le zhu ma ni ma chang zi du re xiam ne da bi hong jie nan ba ra san wong nie ma re ra men da ra dan bi ji ji dian zong na yu wa nie ma jiang zi la ye zong ba ra re da da jian jia na na ma da ra ni ju pe jie ye ge头那马律巴内心马将在来也做那么家拉当美也接也的马国内国家个瓦吉做咱们那个百姓马将在年满的瓦吉见你不拉我拉心马拉你就得他来，心头着火人的心马，强在天你总难过，西边头当阳大的马，东当着那女的做那。准备都来รับ着你嘛，在为我给多办的，家在万年你学在前。
Page 22. Homage to the noble exalted Tara. Homage Tara, swift, courageous, eyes that flash as fast as lightning, sprung from Lord Janrig's bursting, lotus heart eyes, ocean of tears. Homage Tara, whose face blends 100 autumn moons at their peak, shining with expanding brightness, like 1,000 stars assembled. Homage to our golden mother, hand adorned with a blue lotus, and giving effort, diligence, peace, patience, meditation, your sphere. Homage Tara, thus gone once crowned. Your victorious deeds are boundless, relied on by bodhisattvas who have gained every perfection. Homage Tara, filling form, space, desire realms with two Tara, and Hong trembling 7 worlds with your feet able to summon all. Homage Tara, served by Indra, Agni, Brahma, Marut, mighties, praised and sung by hosts of spirits, zombies and eaters and yakshas. Homage Tara, with trade and paid, you crush magic wheels of others, your feet pressing left out, right in, blazing in a raging fire. Homage to a very dreadful, destroyer of Mara's soldiers, frowning with a fury on your lotus face, you slay opponents. Homage Tara, at your heart you form the mudra of 3 jewels. Your wheel shines in all directions with a swirling sea of light rays. Homage Tara, crown emitting like garlands of jubilant joy, with mocking to Tara laughter, and demons and the world you conquer. Homage Tara, who can summon all the hosts of earth protectors, frowning, scowling with lively Hong, you save from every misfortune. Homage Tara, with crescent moon, crown all ornaments bright shining. Amitabha, in your hair knot, shining with eternal radiance. Homage Tara, in a blazing, aeon-ending fire garland, right leg stretched out and left drawn in. Joy surrounds you as you slay foes. Homage Tara, striking the ground, with palms stomping it with your feet, frowning wrathfully, shouting Hong. 7 underworlds you shatter. Homage Tara, blissful, pure, calm, you who acts from peace nirvana, endowed with Swaha and Om, you lay waste to the greatest evil. Homage Tara, joy surrounds you as you tear foes' flesh to pieces. Savior is born from Rigpahong, speech proclaiming 10 seed letters. Homage to Ray, stamping your feet, you whose essence is the shape Hong, shaking Mount Meru Mandara, Bindu Shal and the triple world. Homage Tara, holding a hair, marked moon like a heavenly lake, with twice spoken Tara and paid. You fully erase all poison. Homage Tara served by rulers of God's kinnaras and devas, armored in all cheerful splendor. You dispel nightmares and conflicts. Homage Tara, your eyes shining with the light of sun and full moon. You dispel severe contagion with twice Hara and Tara. Homage Tara, whose three natures come and peace creating power. You slay spirits, the walking dead, Yaksha's most exalted Turi. This is the praise with root mantra, and these are 21 tributes. Page 22. Homage to the noble exalted Tara. Homage Tara, swift, courageous, eyes that flash as fast as lightning, sprung from Lord Chenrizik's bursting, lotus heart eyes, ocean of tears. Homage Tara, whose face blends 100 autumn moons at their peak, shining with expanding brightness, like 1,000 stars assembled. Homage Tara, golden mother, and adorned with a blue lotus, giving effort, diligence, peace, patience, meditation, your sphere. Homage Tara, thus gone one's crown. Your victorious deeds are boundless, relied on by bodhisattvas who have gained every perfection. Homage Tara, filling form, space, desire realms with two Tara, and Hong trampling 7 worlds with your feet able to summon all. Homage Tara, served by Indra, Agni, Brahma, Marud, mighties, praised in song by hosts of spirits, zombies, centaurs, and yakshas. Homage Tara, with trade and pit, you crush magic wheels of others, your feet pressing left out, right in, blazing in a raging fire. Homage to a very dreadful destroyer of Mara soldiers, frowning with a fury on your lotus face, you slay opponents. Homage Tara, at your heart you form the mudra of 3 jewels. Your wheel shines in all directions with a swirling sea of light rays. Homage Tara, crown emitting like garlands of jubile and joy, with mocking to Tara laughter, and demons and the world you conquer. Homage Tara, who can summon all the hosts of earth protectors, frowning, scowling with lively hung. You save from every misfortune. Homage Tara, with crescent moon, Crown all ornaments bright shining. Amitabha in your hair knot, shining with eternal radiance. Homage Tara in a blazing, aeon-ending fire garland. Right leg stretched out and left drawn in. And joy surrounds you as you slay foes. Homage Tara striking the ground, with palms stomping it with your feet. Frowning wrathfully, shouting Hong. 7 underworlds you shatter. Homage Tara, blissful, pure, calm. You who acts from peace nirvana, endowed with Swaha and Om, you lay waste to the greatest evil. Homage Tara, joy surrounds you as you tear foes' flesh to pieces. Savior is born from Rigpahung, speech proclaiming 10 seed letters. Homage to Re, stamping your feet, you whose essence is the shape Hung, shaking Mount Meru Mandara, Bindu Shalan, the triple world. Homage Tara, holding a hair, marked moon like a heavenly lake, with twice spoken Tara and Pig. You fully erase all poison. Homage Tara, served by rulers of God's kinnaras and devas, armored in all cheerful splendor. You dispel nightmares and conflicts. Homage Tara, your eyes shining with the light of sun and full moon. You dispel severe contagion with twice Hara and 2 Tara. Homage Tara, who can't nature's command, peace creating power. You slay spirits, the walking dead, Yaksha's most exalted Turi. This is the praise with root mantra, and these are 21 tributes.
Tu karandave, ding tu dam ye, jang ku wom bar bien tarara, om dare, tu dare, tu re so ha, nga je yong kuru vale, wo cho lama tang. Kan zhu tang zhang song ri guan zi, xie mu zhuo nie ba nam jie, tu jie tang qian la, jar bu qian bu, xie la so bie lan mi, tie bong nam jie, ce tang bian ju ru dian yu, nu jie ji tian, kam jie, ce ju la so ba, nu pa tang, jung wa, qian bu xie tang, ju ye, nu tu tam ji, wo zer mar gu da bu du de, rang ke tu ke ngang chen la tian yang wu cho zhou zhou sim qian nam la po tam qi jum dian de me kong bang 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 Ramane Javardana Yeswava Ramane Javard Nayeso Om Dare du Re So 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 dare du re so Om dare du re so Om dare du re so Om Dare Du Re So Ha Om Dare Du Re So Ha Om Dare Du Re So Om Dare Du Re So Ha Om Dare Du Re So Ha Om 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 Du Re So Om Du Re So tene da kharsan ti jo te kharsan ta te che te te la son che te khar sa na che te da yon tian tang dian de sang ji yon tian tam ji tang dian de le chen zhe res wa te la son che te la sang ji yon tian tam ji dian de wa da ta shi se la son
We continue from yesterday. So we spoke about the ground, the basis. And so we have said that all the enlightened qualities, all good qualities arise from that ground.
wa da kharsan ti sab jin zhe won ti na la khar se na te chong song de khar sa she lam te lan chu wa dang khare lam chu we zai dang da sab ji ting ye wo long zhong ma song 我 lam的他写唐布 lam的那些出位出点吧，那把点了爸爸你有是那种啊，我这对他唐布出位出点吧这里，他就当他写原天堂点吧，他是有的，真的，他俺让做听我嘛写吧的，真的他出是是，我真的他可的是呢，出是呢他这里就当他让我写个嘛的。 타늘이 랑크모데 랑시데바리 팽모 마시 데 마레 발데네 네로 통트 마레 텔레데네 데 뇨모 차당 모섬나 소시네 데네 만캄송 콜반 참세스 와타트리 베자 코란 남다트 카존트라 요와테 루티나 트란도 랑초 그인바 마시베 셈뇨모 완트 쇼바이 만콜반 참베 심장 요 한모 추지 잡도 스타랑 셈데 초크이레스 상제 연대 섬제 테 마시 뭐 마시 바지 대셈 말하고 할 때는 용모 와한테 손에 다 많고 참다 zen 코르와 참세 로바라이 초크니스 코르와 참세스 코르와 참나 다 타르트야 디스카레 카보 때문에 오시게 말해 디스 와테는 코르와 참베 섬잖아 이런 뭐 쪼지 잡서 스타라빈도
So we said that there are two parts, and then and that is so the like how the ground arises, like how the confusion arises out of that ground. So first of all, the first point that we already discussed, it was to understand the ground, and second, then how does the confusion come from that ground? How does confusion arise from that ground? So that's the next point. And so even though this ground, the mind, has all of these qualities, since we don't recognize them, we we are constantly deluded. And so being deluded means not seeing our true nature. And if we don't see our true nature, then we will develop emotions of attachment, aversion, and ignorance. And as a result of these, we wander in samsara. And so the next verse says, Mother God, in your Green Tara book, it's on page 44. So it says, Mother Goddess, please protect sentient beings. My mother is wandering in samsara. with minds controlled by afflictions who do not recognize that they themselves are Dharmakaya. So one's own mind is actually the Dharmakaya, but if we don't recognize that, then we wander through the six realms of samsara because of ignorance. So if we don't recognize our own mind, then that means we're ignorant. And if we are ignorant, then the afflictive emotions uh, control us. And as a result, we wander in the six realms. And then wandering in the six realms, liberation is difficult because in this state of confusion, it is very difficult to recognize it, to recognize our true nature. Mhm.
tene dasere ma tin zeba tin do so nam chen war chu tam chi rang yin tu chor ba xie de war ni pin ning bu am rikpa chu xie de war ni pin yi sim chen tam chi cha do res da so nam che chu tam chi cha be res o ten du de xie de war yi pin ning bu xian na da rikpa chu xie ba de ne yen du je me so de su yin de che wa yo ma res ne di yo res che ba me sim chen gun ji ju la xiu wo da sim chen ju le yo xiu yo res sim chen tu la ngan tu song ma sang jie tu le sang tu song ma res wo ten du de xiu di yo res sem rang wo ma xie sem rang wo rang ki ma xie be wo da sem ki ne lo ti xie de wa yi gun ning bo ti yin ba de so so ngo ma xie wa chen ne de ma rei wang ke nyong mong ba ma rei le den ne de nyong ma rei be nyong mong ba de ma rei den de nyong mong ba ti ma short sta de ne ma rei ba den dan chu sri wo den chu de jisu ma la re zong wo re nang ju ba yi je nam xian des ma to tu ne ma rei des ma to tu ne ma rei des le nyong mong gun je xie ca yin le nyong mong tam ji ke za ban zhong wo re多呢让人一些的，各部秋天用天做本就是，多呢让人可以一些的，各部用天他们去做的的，往头去的。我的呢，接到了一些去让那了，从这的一些让那通过嘛些话的，从这阿天是，从这电把送阿天是，的人出去先把嘛就是，生产的那个龙安没事，我他适当去没来这批送我的，开始送我是呢，适当去呢你也别做事，生产去呢也大做事，
This guy and Mila Ripa, Shirang, and Dropo, no, Europa Gara. Oh, yeah, yeah, mhm.
ngā jā chīn nā tā yé zhō sī, wā tā nyō mō tō ngā, rō tō zī nā, wā tī tō sī jīng nē, zhō yā tā tō mā sī, mā tā rā tā rā bē zhō tō yī sī, mā tā rā tā rā bē tā rā rō yā kī rō tō rē sī. Nē sī, tē nē rī kī rī rō, rikdo jay ne jay war to mi bang khorba cham da rikdo jay da nga zang nga rang so di so nam chu de za yo na so nam te ha ya tori di che an tori de ya zai tarwa tam chin chen be de ngo ma she di ha so nam te mar zo ne ha nge song som jian ro ya wa ten zhu chen ne ne dan khorba cham do res cham ba yin.
Now, coming back to our commentary, so um, and so although the ground, this ground, or we can call it our Buddha nature, or we can call it our intrinsic awareness or the Dharmakaya, although that actually pervades the nature of everything from form to mind. And so all beings are pervaded, all beings possess that. It is within all beings. It is primordially inseparable from the minds of all beings, but they do not recognize this mind as their own mind. And that is because they have fallen under the power of afflictive emotions and ignorance. And actually, it is always there unchangingly as it is. So it's not that the mind of beings is worse and the mind of the Buddhas is better. It's always the same mind that's there with all beings. Milarepa said that when not realizing the nature of the mind, then that mind itself becomes the basis of all karma and afflictions, the root of samsara, of suffering in samsara. But when one realizes that same mind, it becomes the basis of all good qualities. All good qualities are complete within it. And so therefore, uh, so being confused and fixated at a subject-object duality, this the subject-object duality of our own mind that is actually non-dual wisdom. We wander endlessly in the six realms, bound in unbearable suffering. But that is not our true nature. And so Milarepa had said that anger are the chains that chain you, that tie you to the hell realms, and greed are the chains that bind you to the hungry ghost realm, and ignorance are the chains of the animal realm, and desire is the chain of the humans, and jealousy is the chain of the demigods, and pride is the chain of the gods. So we are bound by the five or the six afflictive emotions, the poisons, and it is difficult to free ourselves from these chains of samsara. Um, so that is because even though we may have a little bit of merit, and as a result of that merit, we are born in the higher realms. But again, without recognizing the nature of the mind, that merit becomes soon exhausted. And again, we fall into the lower realms. And so this is how we wander endlessly in samsara.
dine, da ngopo ne tsu tse dar ma yis, ngopo ne tsu ten korban jamya, ten rub ma res. Ta sem kuna de wari ipin yimbo re, kazang mambu la yoro. Te re si, che dar ma da wa se, da ma da di, na ma da ma re wa de, ne, na wan de. Te chung kyo re, te chung du, te na wan de, che zam, sem ji chima, ta sem chima, par pa ta song na, te che da song na, tar chuk de, ishe te su so rang ha ko hong res. Tene, te zek po hong du ma da ki na wan za, 요 말에서 마다 나와서 통해서 요 말에서 미니스 원나 마다 나와 통 말에서 되지 말아라 지나와 제다 나라다 마토트네 트윈한데 유지 현반 칭마치스 다 유지 현반 때는 차단무서 나서 쇼운도 그래 너는 수산노 야보 제 당한 소 체지나 제 샘, 제 공자 알지 초점도 당진 디 샘네디나 표지한테 샘네 저 추가 매가다 용거로 와 이나 자 유ring 뭐 네트워크 말에 제 파가 유지 되는 트윈도 그래 我这有在点的推送的，但有可现在说通啥了点的这个，可现在那位这样红呢，这样把他这说穷呢，他推着个，等着发展着送的，等着，俺做我们讲那图要别个来看过查的，他，我等着去，咱个做的，做三批内陆讲，咱们去讲那图他用起，那我在周围那我的忙在起的，等等过吧，在查着吧，他先就是么的，有些那我。유 시험바란 챙마치스 유대는 챙도 효들 되는 제 대dembar송 유트 dembar송송도 챙도 효레스 어떤 종으로 와
So the actual nature of our mind is not like this. Actually, our mind is Buddha nature, um, and so so all these impure perceptions that we have uh, can become increasingly pure, and depending on how much we practice, and we purify our mind or recognize the mind. And because ultimately, when all of these impure appearance or perceptions are removed, all that's left behind is what actually is, and that is our primordial wisdom, the form of the Buddhas. And so, as the obscurations are removed, you begin to recognize that, and then you see that there is not even the slightest impurity that can be found. There is nothing actually impure. Milarepa also said that However, appearances arise, whatever appearances arise, if you don't realize them, then become caught up by attachment, aversion, and ignorance, grasping at these appearances. And so then, well, sometimes when we become carried away by attachment, aversion, and ignorance very quick. So sometimes, if we think about it, we try to practice and we do some meditation. The mind abides for a little while, and then, however, we can't really stay in that state for very long. And again, we become carried away by all kinds of objects of delusion. And sometimes it's something that we see, like an outer perception, for example. And sometimes it's something that we think about inside, but there are various objects of delusion that carry us away. And then once we begin to pursue them, it is very difficult for us to remain in meditation. So we do get kind of an experience of the natural state, but then we meditate some, but we don't spend a lot of time in that state, but we spend more of our time following our delusions, and that's why we wander in samsara. So that is what Milarepa meant by saying that because we cling to objects, this fixation binds us, ties us down. It is because when objects appear, we perceive various things, we hold them to be true. We think that this is how they really exist. And this grasping is what keeps us in bondage.
我真的，我当我当初在娘们去的呢，他在康图图先提高那塔去，没总去过。但呢，那在当娘们在空内空中多推下了偏给了我。我这最没来，开始多半那秋可能是嘛多人他有些把情绪是从多嘛 多多半那秋可能是多半那秋可能。真的多半那秋可能是云南sem就超市是我的多那他秋可是那么他们就秋可个是云南 sem 超市是但云南他们就 sem 娘去呀超市个是但娘要我自己用那就这一呢这经验把这使用了经验就是超市要这样我这里女朋友的是娘要空片着这边别人那在那里东岸里那里就是怎么让提前呢这娘去呢超市这边这个过把有的是
And so we should therefore try to abide within that state as much as we can, and then so as we continue to practice, gradually, our practice will improve. And so Milarepa had said that to those who realized ones, to those who understand the that all the appearances appear as the Dharmakaya. What appears as the Dharmakaya. And for such yogis, to them, even if negative conditions arise, even if I know, for example, we get sick or have other kinds of problems or sufferings that arise, whatever arises, it all becomes an enhancement to the practice as a support to their practice.
我真的，当我做规章呢，那个马拉提当中的写节拉米只有你，那比如说他写节的上节的话，一篇你不有是拉米的，他出蛮出的呢，真的，来嘛来你的，真着学的是天的，这个你，这个东二的，在他上节也听你穷学的，上节的什么你穷学的是这个，我这种有哇，我但今天从开始从什么，三天就完没吧，出去过的也是出去过。 주제이리스 남제이리스 리우제이리스 지금 정황 세송도 주제 남제 리우제 세제 남제 리우제이나 와다 대진나 된 타디 타디 지방 코르바 추서 타디 송나데 코르바 추도 그래스 지바제 요나다 추바레스 추바 컨트롤 추르잖아 랑 레과다 랑 셈 레과제 요라 된 대시에서다 소소소소 나스 nga nang zai song di na yu na zha nian de yi kyung re da zha se zai yung re nian zai yung re zha nian ni yung re che dan zi ba de na wa de na re de 동 담바 지나 시대 제반이 바레스 호텔 되는 되는 시춘이 되 제반이 바레스 될 되는 샘춘도 그래 샘춘 소매 내게레스 다 내가 센지야서 어때 말에 기대야더레스 말에 특별히 니도 그랬어 말에 니 나지 지네 되네 주와데 다 말함다 버튼 그런 장그랬어 당가도 다 보타지나 요와 배치다 주셔나 니데 말함다 버세요와 니다 다 말함다 버레스 동我们谈吧，现在些对吧？一波秋克啦，天就话中成面国有的是那成面国有嘛的是，真的，但马来语这样才了钱呢，这样的呢，用么吧的好像，但看中国吧，但是他讲这个的是的，但那东岸是用个的，送个吧。
In the Samantabhadra prayer, it says, there is a single ground, yet two paths and two fruitions. So first there is one basis, one ground, but then depending on either becoming confused and ignorant or not, there are two paths and then two fruitions. One of those paths leads to enlightenment, to happiness, and the other one leads to suffering. But actually, Jigten Sumgön had said that actually so within the unchanging mind that is the Dharmakaya, there is actually just one ground, one path, and one result. So not one ground, two paths, and two results, but one ground, one path, and one result. Because if you see them as separate, like two paths and two results, then it just becomes another samsaric confusion. And so if there is a grasping like that, then the delusion again arises. So how does delusion really arise? It begins with mistaking your own mind as the self, your own awareness as the self. And then by perceiving a self, you then also perceive others, enemies and friends. And so then that becomes your experience. Whatever you grasp at becomes then your experience. But ultimately, the ground, the mind is actually unborn. There is no such a self. But because of ignorance, we perceive things in this dualistic way. And that perception is just like at the delusion we have when we're dreaming. And that is how we wander in samsara. Also in the jewel ornament of liberation, it says that our perception is like the dream we have, a dream we have at night. So in reality, Buddha nature is the Dharmakaya. One's mind is Buddha nature, is the Dharmakaya, and that is by nature stainless. It's totally pure. But through the condition of ignorance, the afflictions and the karmic imprints arise. And as a result of these, we wander in the three realms of samsara and suffer.
我他这趟你他们啷的是呀？他我说你哭个那个了，他们啷在没用个哇？没啷听啷，他带到那种长山那边没事没啷不要活，他就带我几包他就有，长山东啊三年没下，他就刚刚他吃个哇。我这没啷他就在没用的，真的我那钱电把抄不得了那些，他说什么知道？说你写的说的，现在看着那怎么样？长山他就用个哇。我他他就了，他我说等会儿我他我那同他把电把抄不有嘛的是。이나 다고 가서 덴바르 송대도 되네 덴바르서 첩되는 거 같은데 차대 요래 정도 배 차샤나是람도 되나 친이제 리베스这边那啥我来解用它那个做后别是别人把那身上的它这边给你我里面解用呢同个我们呢是往同人呢大个我让这东西呢我等同个嘛的是친이제同着呢我同是我同个的是这边你那啥我来我呢我在把唐松呢是我설나 설보 설카 나 로나 세 설보 좀 통말 반这边拿在查从那通 다 집에 나서 자송한테 가보tin 통레스 와 제단 나한테 나이데 테나지레스 전 추송도 되는 나한테 지원로레스 와 드네总是去了我再去呢他去几波这么当当然处他没得同桌这个群同学了哇群同学嘞真的你把这做出去同个人是我真的他一大次从那啥着同个人是我在没去同事上，我真的还可多次同个人是，我真的去呢，但通常嘛这是嘛这，说来，他来啥晓得这个，今年他差不多那些有的是，可能差不多那些有的，他的，可听主要的嘛，这块是今年的差不多那些有的哇。我天，对他看人呢，苍马电报差不多有的，他电报差有嘛的在那个做也没接近着抢着个哇，苍马在我苍马，吧长，刚才苍马差不多那些有的没等着拉说吧。因为他这是为电子的口径不对的呢，他这差不多那有，他电把这电子的嘛，这传送的他是让人嘛做的，他说哈过嘛说啥的哇。
Mm. Um, and so now, when we have a dream, for example, in the dream, you may have all kinds of experiences or perceptions in that dream. Sometimes we have very, very happy dreams, and sometimes there's a lot of suffering in our dreams. And while we are dreaming, while we're in that dream, that dream seems very real, as if it's truly happening. But then when you wake up, often you still feel that is that real? Because it seems still so real. Sometimes we feel a bit strange when we wake up from such a real like dream. But in reality, there's nothing real there at all. It seemed that way, but there was nothing real in that dream. In Tibetan, we have this analogy with having jaundice, and with jaundice seeing a white conch shell as yellow. So when your eyes are affected by jaundice, then you see, when looking at the white conch shell, you do not see it as white, but you see it as yellow. But then as the jaundice clears, then you begin to see gradually the color changes. So it turns from this yellow into this yellowish kind of, first it's kind of dark yellow, and then it turns into like a light, a pale yellow, and then finally it becomes white as it really is. So when the sickness is totally cured, then you see the conscious white as it actually is. Or another example is then, so for example, the way we perceive a cup of water. So, for example, the hell beings would see that cup of water as molten iron, and the hungry ghosts see that same water as pus and blood, and we humans see it as what we call water, and gods see it as divine nectar. So that same water appears in many different ways, depending on the individual karma of beings. And then, because they see it that way, and they can clearly see it that way, if you then tell them that that's not what it really is, they will not believe it, because it's right in front of them. They see it that way. And so, for example, to animals or all other beings, whichever way they perceive their reality, that's how it is for them. It seems real and solid. But then, as the obscurations and the habitual tendencies clear, then this natural state as it actually is reveals itself. So it's just like the eyes see no longer the yellow, but the white and the conch, or you see the water as it actually is. So when there is no more grasping, then also there is no more mistaken perception.
我的呢，他是花钱，他这把这做样谁呢？是的，在花年的花年人，他这把其他蛮通的是吧？花年的这把这做把用谁呢？新年路去新我都去了那是吧？他新年路做我都去了那，这没他吧？通这个路上通个也是怎么样？没那人他去样多次样，没那是我去多次拉说，他去这么的有些拉说，他说通过嘛的也是。 我的呢，在泡沫周围中多还是中国人呢，空手在里面，实际里面俺们兄弟们那么多人在里面，俺们兄，
Namchu,
俺们兄，
Namshu.
俺们兄弟们那么多。
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that sometimes never just say yes. Sometimes 我们养大从我们呢，我们呢，我在他身边所中通常的，但是穷学啥的话，可惜这些东西我们呢，这 never just say 那通常，在他强你给他说，甚至在他别那完了，对我们也通常是的吧。我在那么当时那现在吧生活是现在吧是生活，他现在吧多的我那生活呢，从这那嘛他们去做吧，他们去把车呢。车的做吧嘛，就写吧当时，今年生活了，其他今年那个了，他今年生活了，但是他别那那一些，就我就嘛头要嘛来是米呗，那么他当时谁把我是我的，谁米把他谁米让他把他通过来是，谁把我是。
Mm. And so therefore, when the obscurations and those tendencies, as habitual karmic tendencies, imprints are eliminated, then you see things as they really are. For example, the conscious white or the water as it is, so no longer as the other perception, like pus and blood, or as nectar, like the gods and so on, but simply as what it actually is. Pagmo had said that so there is this place, Namshu, so that he was staying in Namshu, and so he said that not sometimes Namshu may appear like the burning fire of hell. But at other times, it may appear like the pure realm of Arkanishta. So that depends on the state of mind. If when the state of mind is agitated or angry, then the surrounding also appears like a hell. But if the mind is filled with love and compassion, the surroundings may appear as a pure land. And so, from the ultimate perspective, appearances and various elaborations of subject and object do not actually exist. And then from the perspective of the extent of things, meaning that like thinking about how many things, how many phenomena exist, they all are the self-display of pure wisdom. So pure wisdom manifests itself endlessly.
我真的你嘛，这玩意儿不去，搞老百姓多这玩意儿不去是吧？我经常了开始种都是呢，但你嘛这玩意儿好修的干啥是吧？这好修的干了，广播是把好老巧实际的是吧？我这是
Vi
来
kallar Sachageming komporve.
广播，
Mm.
我
Mhm.
这里没这来啥，他啥了，求问这来啥是吧？他是求问
Mhm.
这种的，求问群同学们都写过。我其实同学们都是我什么这边全都是，但是前两年嘛这边这个就是我听蛮同学，但是你们俩去把这边的谈同学们就是中文噻，但这些同学们还过嘛说，让他学问同学们都什么上面几个然后学过，但个人节里面都
Mhm.
做，那说在来听着，我有你去讲听着有啥的吧？
Mhm. So one teaching that His Holiness the Dalai Lama once gave, he told this story about when he was in Tibet, in the southern region of Tibet, in a place called Gombo. And then once a person came who had just been in Lhasa to see the Chowo statue, but then he came to see His Holiness, and he said that, but he couldn't see the Chowo statue, and he was very worried about that because everyone else seemed to be able to see the Chowo statue, but not him. He couldn't see it. And so then His Holiness said that that was due to the obscurations coming from his own of his own karma, his own karmic obscuration. So he said that if you practice, then you can remove these obscurations. So, but probably these strange things can happen depending on one's own karma.
我的真的，但没想起或没行动，可能去求的多的错嘛用嘛，一直在那引把它买了一件，是我但没想不么那也是，没想做下过个是吧？
Mhm.
啊。
Yeah. Yes.
我这应该做讲究那要没想和没计划的，这讲就要同意一下的，但没想
Pardon, Chunjuk.
讲究那没想会计
Mm.
划，没想会计划噻，但没想会那把那就有的，这我的年纪我的看门我看了那有嘛了， 这偏多有嘛是啦，那这就养同米是同大有嘛是那一，但没想分嘛嘞是，可别穷的，他们去弄的出不牛嘛嘞是，蛮穷吧，没想分做穷牛嘛，但可别做出不牛嘛嘞是，这大的人吧啦，嘛嘞去见的，出别去老玩玩去，看了这些是，咱们看了这些真正么的，这肯定这样是吧？
Ti
嘛他，
karere namka dashi,
但肯定这玩意是吧？
namka nang lakinik,
他肯定这玩意，养在他肯定的。
namka nang lara.
那看了肯定这都看了肯定这因啥我当然肯定把这马大对他站着真这么的痛就是了吧
Benat ti
啊，
ogda
我这
hair.
个站着是一线中的痛就是了，这当肯定
Mhm.
从大肯定一啥的，
Oh.
嗯，我这
Mhm.
咱的马大问你看了他真痛给的是，我真的可能他真痛给的是。那么那说起点동아스或者是我他동아스 총결에 지난 나랑 좀 참선 다 동아만도 좀도 그제 디디 어스 초반데 초반 야 보고 제 싫어 좀见的我싫어 치만用他동아 싫어 미반다 나랑 좀 통배래 뭐네 전 동아여래 다그 동아 생각 좀 그러봐 제산 동아는 대tuk 말해 동아 좀 여러와다 주르베 동아선 제다 내가 집어보나 판주원도 하잖아 주르베 동아스 어 주르베 동아스 그래 동아르 그 동아르사 다 동아르제 뇽 신비관 동아르제 뇽야제 요라데 동아르 그 동아르사 와테네 차반도지 동아르사 와다 차반도지 동아르사 다다다다 남성스 하고 말했어 别想了，不娘嘛就有呢，对，老婆娘没得有嘛，是买来送那没得用个嘞，是我别在那里嘞，是我他经常吃用的在东亚的穷可嘞，我就见到东亚的吃的有说是就了，我他经常吃用的做哈工可的，我在对东亚的身边他们去滚啦是。身边他们有的，但推送的，但那推送空的的起马路他们用，让中，用希腊跑去把它票啥了吧，让中对吧？这边宁波的吧。我这德里边宁波现在他最终嘛，这个上那做先跟我最终嘛这是拉松，他们说就加不说了些，我他加不加现在，就不加现在，他先跟那路通过些送呢，这你们说了，这多呢是吧？那个，他先那路多送呢，这东西是吃的哟，他最终嘛真的最终没东西了，最终嘛先跟那路去的，我些送呢，真的东西他们加不来是，是吧？那个是。
So then it says, so therefore it is like, so just like when we say there's a, like, when we think that samsaric phenomena really exist, it is just like speaking about the child of a barren woman. In the Bodhicharya Vatara, it says that speaking or describing the characteristics of the child of a barren woman, as for example, it is so lovely and beautiful and so on, is pointless because such a child does not exist. There is no child for a barren woman. So in the same way, all these samsaric phenomena have never truly existed. But because beings don't know that, through the temporary confusions, they perceive things in many impure ways. So many impure perceptions arise, which is like this kind of strands of hair and kind of fine strands flying in space, like drifting through space. It seems like it's like when you have cataracts in the eyes, then you have this vision of like things like moving before you, like hair. But all of this is not actually there. All of these like kind of impurities that kind of seem to float in front of your eyes, they're not actually there. And so, but then because of these perceptions, still sentient beings suffer. And then sometimes we may feel quite good, and we think that I don't have a lot of problems, there's not much suffering. But that's just really temporary because the condition is not there. But when the condition arises, suffering appears again because we are bound to suffer since we are born in samsara. So as long as we are born in samsara, there's no way to avoid suffering. And there are three kinds of suffering. There is the suffering of change, So first we may experience happiness, but then that changes and turns into suffering. And then second is the suffering of suffering, or the suffering upon suffering. So you have one problem, and then on top of that, another one. And then the third kind of suffering is the all-pervasive suffering. And that is the nature of all beings, of all of samsaric existence. We are all naturally pervaded by suffering. It is there, um, just like in the palm of our hands. So as long as, for example, a piece of hair, a strand of hair is in the palm of your hands, you don't even feel it, you don't even notice it's there. But when that is gets into your eye, it brings you an like intense burning pain. You feel that little strand of hair. So that's just like the all-pervasive suffering. When the right condition arises, then this suffering, this all-pervasive suffering reveals itself. And so all of this suffering arises from confusion, and it's something that all sentient beings experience because they're sentient beings. And so therefore we make this prayer here saying that, so we pray to the great mother, which is the self-arisen Buddha nature, the goddess who bestows all happiness of the three times and of samsara and nirvana. We pray to her, please protect all those suffering sentient beings. And so this prayer, we make this prayer from within a state of understanding that there is no one who protects and no one that is protected. As you mentioned yesterday, what really protects you is your own mind. That's the essence of Tara. Your own mind is Tara. So the protector and the protected are actually all within yourself. So they are non-dual. And so when you recognize that mind of Tara, then you are truly protected from all suffering. And so that is why we make this prayer.
전에 다시 대화를 이거는 보더라. 사모시 조반데 레스. 다 장동 중고라 다 지장 것도 지를 좀 고미야. 我听这有的他同大他当时，你懂他的你别懂先那路的就是这么一把的，我听就听你不来在起码的，就应该一些我是吧，就把我他在那个那起码的，就近我说的才能来先那路是呢，我这就是这么一把在了加入起是，来表的是。
And so this ground, or this Buddha nature, and that is the goddess Tara. But in this context here, not as the like symbolic deity, like the provisional or symbolic deity that we practice and visualize when we do a practice, but more in an ultimate, definitive sense. So here, in this context here, she is the wisdom of luminosity or the Dharma Dhatu.
我真的到课上十几天拿了，课了是那他十几天，十几天有啊，几拿了的。当包在这吧，是大把点南公把娘是那样，就是在南公把娘是那样，在那你有啊，课上，大把挺吹吹的，大把点了吧呀，我在大把点了吧呀，挺久的了，他送把在大把点了吧呀，这是，
Tänä sumpatira.
嗯。
Disko yankia sungunan hambuti karari.
课上写大把点了吧呀，南公把娘是那样的，你有啊，你的这个是做没有啊？
Lam kompana ta shi truba kare.
这大把点了吧呀，是吧？写大把，
Shi dawa den la para.
这课上说才了吧？
Deni lam.
lam thế là nhiều à lam công bạn nhắm sinh nhang thế thế là nhiều à lam chu
Uh-huh.
lam chu việc xí vào thế này đa bảo điện bây giờ nhiều à他
Uh-huh.
你把电做啥大把电bây giờ thế sắp chỉ做不
Uh-huh.
做听到了sắp chỉ 你不要听到了你有的
Uh-huh. And so just to recap the structure of our text. So we have said that so there's three parts, the basis, the path, and the result. And then, so the first we have spoken about the basis, the ground, which is to understand the view. And so then we spoke about that already before. And then the second part is then um, so we spoke about the understanding the view, and then second is the meditation or the practice of the path, so practicing the path. And so within the practice of the path, within that section, there are three parts. So within the second part of the text, there are three parts, and we already spoke about the first two. So that is to understand the confusion on the path, and to understand realize the view of the path. And now number three is what is it? So like establishing, or kind of firmly establishing that view.
근데 다다다디 그린다라디 테아티노 쇼랑 셰프시는가 세저와
Mm.
근데 추년 게 주라 마치 단위 책에 전장 중단에 배류와 용양다 한번 잡도 조르스람도
So now turn to page 45 in your green Tara text. And the next verse is, genuine Mother Goddess, please protect those who follow the conventional meaning of words and are deceived by errant tenets, for the Dharma has not truly taken birth in their hearts.
他去年去了嘛，就是他去年去，现在俺当初他去在年年使用呢，他年年养他吧，马中啊，他研究的讲说像他说这也不马子，所以他研究的是面那去过呢，这是年年现在去特别的搞得可不了嘞，他研究现在俺说在库瓦嘞，他在东岸吧，他说哈过嘞，所以去吧没他的，天让他老多些是哈过，天叫你个吧。세 메타 레줌데 라서 단 코르니 메라서 저들이 사고 저도 잠노디 스탄고 쇼래 다 대고는 디 추초 디 스님 제토야 팽게래 我天的秋这马季的在秋季呢，这个是在研究的，像你的强说上了后，这马季呢，去年去住了马季为，他你才去见着是，他你才去见着，这才干部在接上呢，这个他现在偏给嘛了他，才干部在接着呢，这娘们刚说。马季吧季，才干部在跟这让呢偏给嘛了，但今天中午中午说，那把这肯定是每一忙不接落呢，每一忙不接落呢，那把他了看下偏给嘛的是。面偏的就面被你能那三的偏给人的偏给的是，在老小的个那把头偏多起来要嘛的，他可的是呢，那把头朝阳了蛮啥过去的，这啥过去，这那原来做在说个，在可把他俩去呢，然东岸是 job 出来了，可能东岸是 job 出来了，他娘们所去过去的，俺当时娘们去呢，我在去过去嘛，在地部肯定嘛的是，我在冲他那边绿瓦也是绿瓦了，冲他那边先，他冲他那边先。那冲他电把送送，那他冲他的面把抢出来，连起起我在音上说冲他电把再送，特别在可年龄了，马几个去冲他提纲恰当，我送就是在起点那真的冲他电把送，冲他面把抢了，他抢了。我就是么来这边送我的，冲他咱们去老爷就牛毛多了，过去穷，冲他咱们去老皮缩小的确实的是。牛毛多呀了，好那我把穷一些他要买的是没办法，我这里老皮小的了，牛毛要切是在先做这个的。我这样的从单元别绿瓦拉是，有两大件他们加不着，是我的那么地区这么去加不着去是。
Um, And so now for this is that we practice we practice the Dharma, but so saying that the Dharma has not truly taken birth in our heart means that even though we do practice the Dharma, we have not cultivated perfect renunciation and bodhicitta, and especially renunciation. If there's no renunciation, then true practice is very difficult. And so renunciation arises when you think about the four thoughts that turn the mind, when you understand the suffering of samsara, when you understand impermanence, death and impermanence, and karma, and the various faults of samsara. So even if you just reflect a little bit on those, that will help you have the Dharma actually arise in your heart. So that is a real benefit. But without this renunciation and also bodhicitta, all Dharma practice is just following empty words, and those have little benefit. Jigten Sumgön had said that even if if a sick person is surrounded by a lot of medicine, that alone does not help that sick person at all. Even if someone tells them there's all this great medicine here, and this medicine helps for this sickness, and that medicine helps for that sickness, none of that is of any benefit until the sick person actually takes the medicine. And so in the same way, if we know all about the teachings, and we know all about samsara and so forth, it doesn't help unless we practice. So only the words cannot protect us. And so it says here, so they're deceived by errant tenets, or errant dogmas. So that is, if there is this fixation where one thinks that, like, my philosophical view or lineage and so on, it's the only true one, it's just the right one, then this even if you have to even if that if you practice, even if you have much learning, but still there's no real practice, and there are bias, and there's just biases in your mind, and the fixations, thinking, and it's just work. You're just following words and biases, but you're not actually practicing. And Milarepa had said that all these philosophical views are a fabrication of the intellect, and they have no power to protect us against the afflictive emotions. And in fact, all these philosophical views and opinions can actually even increase our afflictive emotions. And so here we are praying to Tara to protect us from this.
我讲他这课上的俺做的设计的这个上的挪是吧？我同是吧？
Oh.
我设计以外的人，
Uh-huh.
我唐伯在写大话点那个是吧？但你把它，
Ambote shit out then,
对，但你把它南宫把娘是那样是吧？松把等只有咋就样是吧？我他唐伯写大话点不要，他的总没有啥是吧？唐伯写大话点不要，他来个张西去上西点是吧？课上西去上西点吧他，他这他他南出呀他。 这好像写他开始出我的提出点吧他，这那写大把点了吧表，他这唐伯提那啥的，他那做的是我同事多他的，
Thanks, tavat hempaavana tarontoa, tamponalla.
所以他大把点吧表，那个
Ja.
有，我光他，
Nipatinalla.
对，我做的写这上的是对，
Yeah. So, sorry, there's we mixed up the outline of the text a little bit. So again, just to clarify, so this is the outline of our text. So we have so there's three parts. There is the explanation of the view. The second is the path of meditation, and third is the training in the result, which is the training in that skill. And so of these three, we are still in the first part. So we are in explaining of the view, and explaining of the view that has three parts. The three parts are showing the nature, and we already spoke about that. That is, so we understand the nature of that ground of the view. So that's we already discussed. And then the second part of explanation of the view, that is what we're talking about today, and that is how does delusion arise? How do we become deluded? So now we are in the second section, second part of the first chapter.
我真的他送把的哇，我真的做这他敲在进步开，他敲在进步爱懂什么先，兄弟，你讲马球呗，我他那路敲在进步的，说空的马球啊，但呢，那些真的说就了不马球吧，我当他你才跟这些生长松呢，冲大他们路去晓得是，这种冲大面巴先了，冲大这个这敲到毛上票，冲大面巴掐着他。对吧？这是正常，看他就路程咱们这去路都不没写就嘛，去路匆忙看出这些要不人家，匆忙要不人家，听那 这你们俩今年没做做，在学会交往在起小的，真的这么大年把是做着去的。
Da ti tambo nang sumba dirwa.
是。
Yeah. So now we finished talking about that second part, and now we come to part number 3, so the third and last part of the first chapter, and that is the third part is to understand the unelaborated nature of the unelaborated nature of Mahamudra. The uncontrived, unelaborated Mahamudra, and so regarding that, so if the profound dharma of the ultimate truth does not really sink into your heart, and therefore if a genuine certainty does not arise in your heart, then when you simply follow the words of various conceptual elaborations, then you are deceived by so-called mistaken tenets, which are a fabrication of the intellect. And so this now here is not speaking about the actual tenet itself, but more your creation of those tenets, your mental fabrication of those tenets. And so that is because when the mind is still controlled by attachment, aversion, and ignorance, then your philosophical view, all of your viewpoints, your opinion, become distorted. And then this opinion or philosophical position actually becomes negative to you, but not that the religion or tradition itself is negative. Actually, there are many religions and traditions, spiritual traditions out there, which are not negative. They're all good, but then when the practitioners adopt them with a biased mind and with a fixation on their own position, on their own opinion, then that leads to an increase of afflictive emotions of attachment, aversion, and ignorance.
我但今天公布公这那路，从咱这把他们去上去把是那么上去的是，现在把其实的其实其实没这把他，哪把上节去话当年头他我嘛，从咱这把的。真正去落嘛一话都让他被通了，冇说的也这边去落他嘛一话让通我通忙着个是，前年准备下来嘛着话的，因他给家年不开始赢了，因这不给家年不开始赢了，除非从他接到来吧，通的从这除非家里嘛着吧，可能因为钱送的吧，他嘛落下了，这里他。
And then Jiten Sumgön had said in the Gongchik that those who hold on to philosophical tenets, they are proponents of their own system. They are simply proponents of their own system. And so no matter who one is, whether one is a non-Buddhist philosopher or a Buddhist, or within Buddhism, one is a Shravaka or a Madhyamaka, all of these, in this case, as long as they hold on to their own tenet, their own position, they all remain ignorant of the authentic truth. So as long as the mind clings to a philosophical view, it remains confused about how things really are. As long as one is not freed from the cage of conceptual elaboration, no matter how eloquently one may describe one's own view, no matter how nice it may sound, sounding even like this is how it really is, this is correct. No matter how nicely it is expressed in reality, one is still not free from this web of delusion, the grasping at a subject-object duality. And so for this reason, this verse here teaches that the ultimate truth is obscured by these philosophical positions.
但是嘛，这老乡，他都这种就是都这种是那他公钱有啊，公钱呢，前年储备同他们这边这是我他前年储备在这边用的同他这边这样这个这是，他从他那做的球员都路他打他可能你他这把西是，他同他把这边落雨呢落去雨满意吧， lo tamchi ke yu le che ba yin be che le jong jo le tong dam lo ye chu yu me lo ne工作比吧都其他城市也送吧然后这是气象呢嘛嘞
Um, and so these Vajra words you just mentioned, so these actually are the words we just mentioned before by Jigden Sumgun, that what he said in the Gongjik. So these Vajra words, they say that the ultimate truth is obscured by all of these philosophical positions. And then the various opinions and different systems, philosophical systems that arise from different spiritual traditions. Um, uh, so they only say they obscure these various opinions and positions that one takes within these systems. These positions obscure the true nature of reality, and so that's because the true ultimate truth is not an object of the intellect, whereas these philosophical positions, they are objects of the intellect. And it is said in the Bodhicharya Vatara, the ultimate reality is not the domain of the intellect. The intellect is the conventional.
我的地是松呢，写中吧，先头看路七八的，是说吧，偏见用我吧，马来里吧，因为，样他们那路人头说吧，可能的是我的这个气象这个。
Um, and so then, so whatever has been fabricated by the intellect is corrupted by the afflictions and ignorance. And it is nothing but a state that is distant, far removed from the authentic, true nature of reality.
哦呀，真的，大家的真参心，真的，大干嘛故事，共产党军呗，发生干嘛就是呢，
Kamacho,
不能就去呢，就那去呢，这啥的，那里，
Kamachunga, eh?
嗯。
Mm. So we stop the teachings here and let's take a 15-minute break.
Thank you, Ina.
Thank you.
so da re do da re do re da re do da re do re so 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 da re do re so da re do da re do re so da re do re so da re do re so da re do re da re da re do re so no da re do da re do re so da re do re re so da re do da re do re so da re do re so da re do da re so da re do da re do 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 re so da re do re so da re do 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 re so da re do re so da re do da re do re so page 32 getting that checks page 32 Om Begane da che da hon pi Om Soba wa shu da sarva dan Soba wa shu do Dong Be Ngan Le Om Le Ren Bo che nu yang shen jia che we na 我们阿婆不退学瓦里中为他自里周边都是马汤新土花，会烧花每边都永远让进退求。
From emptiness arises Om, from which appears a wide open, jeweled vessel. Therein are Om, Ah, and Hom, melting and transforming into a pure and unimpeded Dharma, composed of celestial substances, and having the nature of the five undefiled sensory delights.
Om Ahum Om Aryaradare Sabare Vare Argam Badinja Sova Om Aryaradare Sabare Vare Badin Badinja Sova Om Aryaradare Sabare Vare Bube Badinja Sova Bare bare dube bardenza sova Aryaradare sabare bare aluge bardenza sova Aryaradare sabare bare gende bardenza sova Aryaradare sabare bare nevede bardenza sova Aryaradare sabare vare shabda badinga Korvale durdare madudare jiji dur dure navanam le dur malayan chansarado.
Om, you are the mother, Tare, who liberates us from samsara. With Tutare, you free us from the 8 fears, and with Ture, you save us from every disease. Homage and praise to the Savioress, Mother Tara.
Choji dormande ye la ne juruda chan kurchi che ne me se tam wan chu tan be tan cha tan garwa san alon chu ja chen gu tu zu she tan je la so ba ye le je ngu zhuo da la zu dam zai jian je da la zu 我这根结东着走，对面结当内南当，东当给那没不然做，满那么眼当才忙眼，家几眼那没不然做，今天的心都来吧。 这南偏心穷别把的来咱接不把，一浪都把滚着求了。
Accept this Torma offering and grant us yogins and our retinues good health, long life, power, glory, fame, good fortune, and every great enjoyment. Please bestow the cities of the 4 activities such as pacifying and increasing. You, endowed with Samaya, please protect me. Help me to attain every accomplishment. Prevent untimely death, illness, evil spirits, and impediments. Eliminate bad dreams, ill omens, and nefarious deeds. May this world be filled with happiness and abundant harvests. May crops increase and dharma spread. May perfect goodness and all of our wishes be fulfilled.
皮姐和这会儿有没些？
Noble Goddess, Mother Tara, you dwell within the realm of the unborn Dharmadhatu Mother. You who bestow happiness on all sentient beings, please protect us from all fears. Unaware that they themselves are Dharmakaya, my mothers wander in samsara with minds controlled by afflictions. Mother Goddess, please protect them. If the Dharma does not truly take birth in our hearts, we will follow verbal conventions and become deceived by erroneous philosophies. Genuine Mother Goddess, please protect us. Having seen the nature of mind, so difficult to realize, we do not habituate it, but remain lost in negative activities. Mindful Mother Goddess, please protect us. Due to the habit of dualistic grasping at the mind that is self-arisen, non-dual wisdom, we are stuck no matter what we do. Goddess of non-dual mind, please protect us. Although dwelling in the absolute truth, some are ignorant of the interdependence of cause and effect, and confused by the meaning of that which should be understood. Omniscient Mother Goddess, please protect us. Even those of us who are disciples cannot see that everything is inseparable from the nature of unelaborated space. Mother of perfect awakening, please protect us.
Page 36. Manjura yonsu madru dan dalu mumbe wankine non barakanchi sunzu la nguru tamba zorware.
As you pardon any flaws that have occurred due to limitations, lack of skill, or my own delusions, you will certainly reward me with true siddhis.
Aryaradare samaya manu balaya Aryaradare dino baradi jandredu me bhava Sudukayo me bhava Subukayo me bhava Anuradu me bhava Sarva siddhi me barayet Sarva karma sutta me zidamayam guru hum Ha 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 banga bam sarva tathangat Aryaradare ma vemanse Aryaradare ba ma samaya sadhu Aryaradare samaya manubalaya Aryaradare dino parade Drupcho me bhava Sudukayo me bhava Subukayo me bhava Anuratu me bhava Sarva siddhi me parayet Sarva karma sutta me zidamayam guru hum Ha 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 banga ben sarva datanga Aryaradare ma vemanse Aryaradare ma samaya Sadhu Aryaradare samaya manubalaya Aryaradare dino paradi jadredu me bhava Sudukayo me bhava Subukayo me bhava Anuratu me bhava Sarva siddhi me bharai Sarva karma sutta me zidamayam guru hum Ha 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 banga me sarva datanga Aryaradare ma vemanse Aryaradare bhava ma samaya sadhu Aryaradare sabare vare argam badinza so Aryaradare sabare vare badinza so Aryaradare sabare vare puve badinza so Aryaradare sabare vare duvan badinza so Aryaradare sabare vare aloge badinza so Aryaradare sabare vare gende badinza so Aryaradare sabare vare nevede badinza so Aryaradare sabare vare shabda badinza Korvale Ladan me jo ben jen shab ji ben mo la du te pong wa gu le dun zi ma dur ma yong la chang sa ra du do ba ra wo ba tam chi la xin du gun je chang ni je le de ba ye nam ku tu cho de de be do cha.
Homage and praise to the exalted Mother Tara, who liberates from all misfortune, and at whose lotus feet all devas and asuras bow their crowns in reverence. I continually bow with my body, multiplied to match the number of atoms in all of the realms. I extol and prostrate with utmost devotion to all those worthy to be praised.
Tu je jen dang da ye sem chen tam ji je zhen ni jiang xin su ni nyur zo de zo wei san ji to wa ran zi tu zo tu je se ra gun tu yang la dang me de wei chuo do ne tam qian qian ba zhu ba qi ba la wa qi dong ge ren dang ni la me lang e ba chur wa na so dang me lang nian dang ce ma nian ba dang ji gua ji so nie wo re ce wa na nyu xian mei xian mei ba ran zi tu ji dian le nian de ba ye zha xi de le bu suan so ba dang Bè xiàn jì bè tong na ma lù bà bè mi lù jì zhù bà ràn zì dù zù zhù la zong xiàn tam chù bè rwa dang da dù chù zhù dang yé dong ni tong tuò qiang xiàn ren bù qi yan lùng da da ran bè xiàn jì wù ràn jar ve jin kur san xin ga wa dang be mo dang ba xin lun zi le ji nang wang ta ye ga wang wo song ba long dian ba yang da ki ter to xiu da ki ce ra gun ne zhou bei la tu song san ji gun jian chen len ma Ngon jiang xie jie jia ye nyur ye ba yum jir bie na bie zha xi yu gu ye zhong bang qian tang bie ji dian song ke zhong bang ga lai bin ke yang tu ke zhong bang xie jiang da dang jian zha xi bian ba ra ma yi zha xi xiu.
Exalted, transcendent Lady of Triumph, compassionate one, please remove the two veils of endless sentient beings and myself. Let us complete the two accumulations swiftly to reach complete awakening. Until that is achieved in all lifetimes, please remove and pacify at once all obstacles, evil forces, epidemics and diseases, the various conditions leading to untimely death, bad dreams, ill omens, the 8 fears, and all harm, so that I may experience the highest joys of gods and men and attain omniscience, expanding and increasing the auspiciousness and perfect goodness of this world and beyond. Let all goals without exception be accomplished effortlessly and spontaneously. May I be diligent in practice, and may the sacred Dharma thrive. Let me gaze at your exquisite face as I continuously practice you. Let me realize the truth of emptiness, and let precious bodhicitta blossom and expand like a waxing moon. When I am born from a divinely beautiful and sacred lotus in the victor's excellent and joyful mandala, may Amitabha, the Buddha of infinite light, directly reveal his prophecy, and may I strive to attain it. O Goddess, whom I have practiced throughout all my lives, Mother of the enlightened deeds of all the 3 times Buddhas, blue-green with 1 face and 2 arms, you are the swift subduer. May the auspiciousness of the Mother holding an Utpala be present. Mother of the victors, Tara, May I and others become just like you in form, retinue, lifespan, pure realm, and excellent, noble signs of perfection.
Yellow book, page 30. English.
Page 13. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind, root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yadams and assemblies of Buddhas, bodhisattvas, heroes and heroines, yogini and assembly of dakinis dwelling in the 10 directions, please heed me. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all sentient beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, pride, and jealousy not arise within my mind. May thoughts of fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. Even at death, may the torment of suffering not arise. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such, and in the pervasive clarity of Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Now lunch.
See you
Thank
at
you,
2 o'clock.
Devana.